Could Judas have been saved by Jesus after he betrayed him? So this is an idea that I've had pitched to me a couple times, and I like the sound of it, but I kind of want to toss it to you guys and ask you what you think about it. I think what's really interesting about this question is it takes a look at what really God allows in salvation. There is the one unforgivable sin, right, that you may not blaspheme the Holy Spirit, and interpreting that statement and understanding what it means to blaspheme the Holy Spirit might actually be essential to understanding whether or not we can say that Judas had a path to salvation. Clearly, if he did, he didn't choose it, and we'll go into that in a second. But if he ever had a path in the first place, could hinge on how we understand blaspheming the Holy Spirit. The argument for Judas being able to be saved goes like this. Judas obviously betrayed Jesus when he took the Pharisees' money and then handed him over to the Roman guards. However, we also understand that Peter denied Jesus 3 times and then was later forgiven by Jesus post-resurrection. So when we juxtapose Judas to Matthew, a lot of people say Matthew sought salvation after Jesus' resurrection. Meanwhile, Judas decided to hang himself, completely sealing off the opportunity for resurrection and also committing one more sin to top things off. Now, we do understand by this hanging that Judas felt guilty for what he had done. He'd actually thrown the money back at the feet of the Pharisees. He was absolutely distraught about his decision and completely defeated. So had his heart not been overcome with grief, and had he genuinely believed that Jesus would rise from the dead and be able to save, then one could assume that if Judas saw his way through the death and resurrection and came back to Jesus, he had a chance at salvation. Now we come back to the blaspheming the Holy Spirit idea, right? What does it mean to blaspheme the Holy Spirit? A lot of people will take blaspheme in a very literal sense, and they will talk about using God's name in vain and cursing him, but I think blaspheming the Holy Spirit means something a little deeper. By my understanding, or at least an understanding that has been presented to me that I believe is fairly accurate, blaspheming the Holy Spirit means to internally reject God and reject Jesus. So if we take Judas's actions to mean that not only was he overcome with grief, but he had rejected Jesus as the Christ, and he didn't believe that salvation was possible for himself, then the very act of that rejection would keep him from being saved. There is a lot more I could go into here, but I think that covers the main breadth of the argument. Let me know what you guys think about it, and I'll see you tomorrow.